Listen to what I'm saying, okay? If we were to stop it now with our kids, their kids won't do it. I want you to think deep with me for a minute. Think of this. Think of what I'm saying here. Think of what I'm saying. What we're doing right now, the result of it will be what our kids, what will end up happening is what our kids will do later. Okay, so if we take care of the problem now, our kids will grow up and not have to deal with the problems we dealt with.
On March 17th, the House of Representatives held a special closed session. This was only the fourth time in 176 years that Congress has closed its doors to the public. Not only did members discuss new surveillance provisions, as was the publicly stated reason for the closed-door session, they also discussed 1. The imminent collapse of the U.S. economy to occur by September 2008. 2. The imminent collapse of U.S. federal government finances by February 2009. 3. The possibility of civil war inside the USA as a result of the collapse. 4. Advance roundups of insurgent U.S. citizens likely to move against the government. 5. The detention of those rounded up at Rex 84 FEMA camps constructed throughout the USA. 6. The possibility of retaliation against members of Congress for the collapses. 7. The location of safe facilities for members of Congress and their families to reside during expected massive civil unrest. 8. The necessary and unavoidable merger of the United States with Canada for its natural resources and with Mexico for its cheap labor pool. 9. The issuance of a new currency, the Amero, for all three nations as the proposed solution to the coming economic crisis. In the span of less than 4 months, gasoline prices will rise 500%. This has already begun. The prices of both food and shelter rise over 300%. Unemployment levels will reach over 40%. The savings of millions will evaporate overnight due to currency devaluation and bank failures.
States has been busy converting World War II detainment centers, abandoned military bases, and setting up holding centers across this country to start housing New World Order resistors. Almost 90% of these are holding tanks. And you'll see that most of these internment camps are areas surrounded with barbed wire fencing that contains no restroom facilities, no medical facilities, no housing, no cafeterias. Their plans are to simply herd people into these facilities where they'll wait for a train ride to a crematorium facility. So once you're in one of these facilities, you're not getting out. The only place you're going to be heading is to a crematorium. We're looking at an Auschwitz all over again here in America, and they're fully prepared and ready to go. These camps have been photographed and listed in many places across the net. I have links on my websites at thewatcherfiles.com. I have a picture of the train itself at lastdaysprophecies.com. You can see these trains. And when we started coming out with these pictures, the government threw up this one-page hokey website with these trains, calling them auto carriers. Well, let me ask you something. What does an auto carrier need with handcuffs situated every 3 feet apart from each other on up and down the sides of insides of these trains? And they're saying, well, there's a big door off the back of it. Well, so what? They need a big door to herd the people on and off of it. And what they plan on doing is pulling these trains, the Amtrak station in Indiana, that is going to be used as a major point in the Midwest region to kill people. They're going to pull these trains right up into these warehouses and gas them while they're sitting in these trains. And a lot of these trains have trap doors underneath them. They can just dump the bodies out of them and then go get their next load of people. And so this is what's going to be happening in martial law, and I've said it over and over again on this show. If you are told to show up at a post office for a relocation, do not go. Do not go to any place that they announce to show up for a relocation, because what they will do is separate you from your children. They're going to separate the men from the women, and they're going to herd everybody into these camps. They're going to, and that's all they're going to do is killing people. They don't care about your safety and welfare. We're talking about Satanists here. And so this is definitely not just a war on the saints, it's a war on the patriots, because all of those who don't agree with the New World Order, you're going to be targeted for death.